सदाशिव समारंभां शंकराचार्य मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्तां वंदे गुरु परंपराम् वसुदेव सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानंदं कृष्णं वंदे जगद्गुरुम्. Now we'll say the seventh shloka, second chapter, which was Arjun's prarthana to Bhagwan, and that answer to that prarthana, the entire Bhagavad Gita has come out, which we are enjoying. So that's our prarthana too. So we'll do that prarthana. Seventh shloka, second chapter. Karpanya dosho upahat svabhavah prachami tvam dharma sammudha chetah yat shreyasat nishchitam bruhi tanme shishyaste aham shadimam tvam prapannam. So Arjuna is saying, Bhagavan, Karpanya dosh means my consciousness is shrinking. Upahat svabhava. My nature, true nature is being hurt. Upahat means is destroyed kind of thing, right? And I am forgetting what is the Shreya. Shreya means what is the goal, what is the best for me. So he says, Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. I come to you as your shish, surrender to you. Shadimam, and Shadimam is my intellect. So guide Bhagwan, Nit Shreyas Syat Nishchitam Puruhitan me. What is the best choice for me? Guide me towards that, because I am coming to you as your Shishya. And that is Arjun's Pratana. And if we make this, skip, okay, yeah. So if we make this our Pratana, then the answer comes. And if Arjun can get, we can get too. So I do, this is my actually everyday Pratana. 3 times when I do Sandhya Vandanam, this is the shlok I do as a Pratana. And when I do that, I feel that Bhagwan Krishna is standing in front of me. I'm like Arjun here. And it happens, right? So that's good. Like, we are lucky to have this teaching available to us. And so today is the last session of this 12 last week of the 12 week. It was a challenge, but I think I enjoyed. Personally, I enjoyed. I'm sure everybody enjoyed too. Because I always say that whenever I take a dip into this, I find a new jewel. It is such a wonderful teaching. So we are lucky to have that. So today is the 18th chapter. What we'll do, we'll just recap 17th. Then 18th chapter is big. Big in the sense, like in the length, the number of shlok. But it is, Bhagwan has summarized whatever he has taught from 2nd to 17th chapter. A lot of things he has brought into 18th chapter. So we don't have to go to all the shlok. I'll touch some shlok, and then we'll see. It is a summary of Bhagavad Gita, summary of the entire teaching. Not only Bhagavad Gita, summary of the entire Vedantic teaching, or any good teaching, we can say. So we'll go few shlok. We cannot cover all in 1 hour. So we'll try to cover and see what is the essence of the whole and the purpose of this, what we are doing. And I'll keep last 10 minutes. Just we'll stop at 9:50. So if anybody has any question, you can put in the chat. We may answer now, or I'll answer later on. Or if you have some good thought coming to your mind, so we'll keep 10 minutes for that at the end. And before 10 minutes, we'll do a dhyan for 5 minutes, which is taught by Bhagwan to Arjun in the Yuddha Kshetra. So we'll do 5 minutes for that. So 9:45 I'll stop. We'll do 5-minute dhyan, and then 9:50 we'll spend 10 minutes together. If anybody has any question or comment, right? We'll see that. So that's the plan today. We have to move forward quickly. So last chapter was 17th, which was Shraddha Traya Vibhag Yoga. And Shraddha is the word which is, by definition, it says that Guru Vakyasya Shastrasya Avadharana Sa Shraddha. I'll translate that. So Guru Vakyas means in the teaching or in the words of Guru or Acharya, whoever elder you trust in. Shastras, the Shastra Vakya means what is given in the Shastra, the teaching or the instruction given in the Shastra. Shastra, Bhagavad Gita is a Shastra, Ramayana is a Shastra, many other books are there, but these are like core things. Avadharana means intense confidence in that. We cannot be wishy-washy. So that's what they say, like when you go to Acharya or Shastra, you're very clear that I'm ready, I'm prepared to receive the teaching. That confidence should be, that is called avadharana. Sa Shraddha, that is Shraddha. So in the Shastra, Guru Vakya, when you have intense confidence or determination to learn from, it flows. That is Shraddha. And that same thing is translated in simple terms these days when we go to mandir or do puja, have Shraddha. Same intent. If you're doing a puja, you should be just doing the puja. That those all props are secondary. The relation, the connection between Bhakt and Bhagwan is the intent of the puja. All these mala or japan, that's a secondary thing. So, but I should know that even if I am doing mala, that the connection between me and Bhagwan is being, or it will happen. That is a Shraddha. So three types of Shraddha Bhagwan talked about. So we'll read just last shloka of 17th chapter and we'll move to 18th chapter. So last shloka of 17th chapter, which is 28th slok, Bhagwan says, Ashraddhaya hutam dattam tapastaptam kritam chayat asat iti uchyate partha nacha tat pretya no iha. And Bhagwan says that now three things Bhagwan is doing. Home means yagya or puja, anything, any offering. Home, the word Bhagwan is, hutam is home. Home is, we call it yagya also, any offering. And tap. Tap means austerity or whatever we do the practices. And kratam, any karma. If these three things, we call it donation, but it's not donation, it is like offering. And tap, austerity and karma. If these three things don't have Shraddha, then Bhagwan has used the word asat iti uchyate. Asat means null and void. In simple term. Asat means it which doesn't exist. Sat means which is true, and they're untrue. So Bhagwan says if there is no Shraddha, then the offering or dan or tapas means austerity or karma, they're all asat. Asat means null and void. It makes it doesn't produce any fruit. Fruit is not in the sense phal. It doesn't give any impact or it doesn't give any fulfillment, we can say. So that's why Shraddha is important. With that, Bhagwan Arjun asked. Now Arjun's this is last question almost Arjun is asking now. And this question is a very profound question. And this shows that Arjun's elevation after all this teaching has reached to a very high point. That's why he's asking this question. Very profound question. So we'll start with 18th chapter. But 18th chapter is titled as Moksha Sannyas Yoga. If we remember, go back to that first chapter was Arjun Vishad Yoga. Vishad means depression, despondency, delusion, confusion, all is the Vishad. The Sanskrit for Vishad. Actually translated into depression. So it started with depression. Arjun was depressed and he says, just help me. And then whole teaching started. Now he's asking the question. Look at the person who was depressed, who left his Gandiv, who was sitting in the lower part of the chariot, and he is saying that my limbs are shivering, my voice is like it's not coming out, and I'm just completely lost my consciousness. And now he's asking a question which is a very profound. So that means Bhagwan's teaching has helped him to regain his consciousness. Now this question can be asked by a very conscious and aware person. So look at that. The teaching has brought Arjun to this state. And now he's asking. Arjuna Uvacha, this is 18th chapter. Ath Ashtadashodhyayah. Arjuna Uvacha, Sannyasasya Mahabaho, Tattvam Ichchami Veditum, Tyagasya cha Rishikesha, Prathak Keshini Nishudana. Bhagwan's name Keshini. So he's asking Bhagwan, what is the difference between sannyas and tyag? These are two words which is, I'll like, for example, I'm very confident about these things when I say that. Like the yoga word and the mantra word, Pandit, all those words, even Ayurveda is coming to that, right? All these words are accepted by the whole world because they are atomic words. They have a lot of meaning. Yoga means you don't have to, everybody knows in the world what yoga is. It's a Sanskrit, it's a Rishis, mantra, Pandit. In fact, Ayurveda is also coming. So similarly, there will be a time when this whole world will suffer with this all whatever going around in this world, right? All the disturbance, suffering. Sannyas is the word, which we may not see that, or we may see that, right? But the sannyas is one word which is going to be a guru. For example, guru is a word. Om, Omkar is a word India or Hindus have offered to the world. People are using that. I know some people do Om chanting, non-Hindus, because it gives them the solace, the peace. Guru word is so popular now. So sannyas is one very popular. And typically a Hindu mind, whenever you hear word sannyas, we think of, oh, sannyasi, someone who's a saffron robe and yeah, there, but that's Bhagwan is not talking about that sannyas. That's a stage of life, which is also they do the same thing. But here he is talking about sannyas. Arjun is asking, he's a grahast, and he's asking a question to another grahast, Krishna. Bhagwan Krishna is a grahast. So a grahast is asking a grahast, what is sannyas? So the sannyas explained here. I mean, it's a big chapter. We will not go into that detail. But Bhagavan is going to explain what is sannyas and tyag. Rest everything in this chapter is repetition. Bhagavan has talked about karma also. Bhagavan has talked about gyan, which is already talked about in previous chapter. But this topic, sannyas and tyag, was not discussed earlier. So Arjun is asking. So Bhagavan is going to explain what is sannyas and what is tyag. Basically, they are synonym. So Arjun is asking that I want to know what is sannyas. Reason probably because in the beginning Arjun said that I don't want to go for this war because this war is kind of a violence. And why do we do that? I would rather take sannyas. He said in the beginning. Sannyas, he was seeking sannyas, running away and sitting in the Himalaya. And Bhagavan says, hold on. He brought him back. Now Arjun's question is very different. Now he understands like I'm still going for the war. That is my swadharma. But what is sannyas? Sannyas is a state of mind. So that's what Bhagavan is going to explain. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, the second shlok. I'll keep a tab on the time right here. So Bhagavan Uvacha, Kamyanam Karmanam Nyasam Sannyasam Kavayo Viduhu Sarva Karma Phalatyagam Prahutyagam Vichakshana. So Bhagavan is saying that sages or rishis, they say that renunciation of desire born of action is sannyas. See now, coming, Gita has, if we summarize, Gita has taught only two things. Bhagavan has taught karma and gyan. That's it. The entire essence. The second chapter is gyan, third chapter is karma, and Gita is over. In second and third chapter, teaching is over. Rest everything is built on that teaching. So karma and gyan is like that. Two things we are taught and when we go to school in the childhood: alphabets and 0 to 9. That's it. The basis of entire teaching, whether you do PhD later on, A to Z, 0 to 9. That's it. And everything is based on that. That is that's A to Z, and 0 to 9 is like karma and gyan. Once we know what is karma, and gyan is atma gyan. Once I know what is who am I, that's it. The rest of the life you can just like enjoy the life. It's like that. Adhyatmic life. I'm not taking the material life. So that's what Bhagavan is going to tell in this, that, right? So Bhagavan is saying that the renunciation of desired born of action is sannyas. So in third chapter, if you go to Karma Yoga, karma has three elements. There is an action, there is an actor, and there is a result of that, right? Karta, karma, and karma phal. The problem is that karma phal, because when I am acting, I am doing the karma. My mind is on the phal, not on the karma. Most of that's the problem. Like these days, in fact, lot of our leadership programs and management classes, they say the same thing, like focus on remain in the present. Remain in the present means remain in the action, the process. They say that remain in the process. Forget about result will come automatically if the process is right. That's what Karma Yoga is. So Bhagavan is saying that is sannyas. If you are able to take away your attention from the karma phal and just doing the karma, you are a sannyasi. There is a definition of sannyas, which is a samyak nyas iti sannyas. Nyas is a word, Sanskrit word, that means putting aside something is nyas. That's why when we say sannyasi, sannyasi who has given up the worldly material possessions aside and taken the word that or saffron robe, that is a sannyasi. But he is talking about the karma phal sannyas. He is not talking about the sannyas ashram, which is the fourth. Bhagavan is saying, if keeping aside those relationship with the prakriti means all these worldly possessions, and karma is around this, our karma. Bhagavan is saying, keeping aside that attachment to the result is sannyas. It's that simple. Like, okay, but how do we do that? That the whole teaching is there, right? So Bhagavan is saying that is sannyas. And some people say, Bhagavan is saying, some people say, he's always, Bhagavan Krishna is many times Bhagavad Gita says, people, rishis say that. He doesn't say all the time, I say that. Many times, most of the time, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan is saying, Shastra says this. He's not saying Krishna is saying this. But he's also saying that I got this teaching. It's very ancient. So Bhagavan, so next slok, he continues, right? Tyajam dosha तोषवत इति एके कर्मं प्राहु मनीषिणः यज्ञदान तपस्कर्म न त्याज iti च अपरे. Bhagavan is saying that, yeah, you give up, but don't give up the prescribed activity. And for example, now, I mean, we can go into each word. This is very long. Sometimes I take 1 hour to one slope, but here we have to. So what he is saying in nutshell, that the prescribed activity should not be given. Kamya karma, the desired action should be given. That is tyag. Tyag means sacrifice, right? So kamya karma, and then kamya karma is this. For example, we do yajna and havan. So the Dasharath ji did a yajna, putra kameshti yajna, right? It's very famous in Ramayana, because he performed. The Rishi said, you perform the yajna and ask the yajna devta to give you putra. So that is kameshti, means there is a desire. So many times I go for a tirth yatra, and I'm going for a tirth yatra to Tirupati or somewhere, or Vaishno Devi, for something can fulfill. But that is a kamya karma. That is tirth yatra, is good than doing nothing, but there is a desire behind. So Bhagavan says that should be given up. But the prescribed duty, if, for example, and he's telling Arjun, you are a warrior right now, you are the chief of your army, you just cannot give up this. That is your swadharma. So not giving up swadharma is not tyag. The swadharma, result of swadharma is you just give up. But not, if you give swadharma, then that is not tyag. Somebody says, oh, I don't want to perform these things. It is prescribed for you. If yes, then you cannot give up. But what kamya karma is desired actions, if you want something and you give up those. So Bhagavan is saying, those desirous action, if you give, that is tyag. But what is required to be done, if you give up, that is actually tamas tyag. In further, there are shlok where Bhagavan is saying tamas tyag. There is a sattvic tyag, there is a rajasic tyag, there is a tamasic tyag. Tamasic means very low level. Like Ravan. Ravan used to do yajna. He did a lot of penance, a lot of tyag, but it was all tamasic, because he was doing to gain something, to power, to become more powerful, destroy the world. That is also, Ravan did, but that is tamasic tyag. Bhagavan is talking about sattvic tyag. So yeah, give the kam karma for the lok sangra, that is sattvic tyag. So, I mean, there are a lot of other things in this chapter. We have to skip some of those things, right? So basically Bhagavan has defined tyag and sannyas, and they are synonym. But again, Bhagavan is saying, if you are able to give up the results of your desires for the results, you are a sannyasi. It's that simple. Anybody can be a sannyasi. Sannyasi doesn't have to have the wardrobe. If you've given up that, then you're a sannyasi. So that's what Bhagavan is saying. He's making very simple. So he's telling Arjun basically, you wanted to take sannyas, you can still be a sannyasi and do the war. Yeah, you can do the sannyas because you just give up the whatever the result doesn't matter. Just because Yuddha is your Swadharma. So that's so Tyag and sannyas should not come in the way of Swadharma in simple terms, right? So this is the whole. We have a lot of chapter. We'll have to skip some of those shlokas because it will take the entire 1 hour going. So what we'll do, we'll just take some shlok and then take the summary of the Bhagavad Gita. And if time left, we'll do. Otherwise, some other time we can spend more time on this. So I'll jump and go to the 72nd shlok. So this chapter is about Tyag and Sannyas. That's clear. Karma and Gyan we have already talked about. You can, if you have, you can go watch the videos. We have every chapter and I'm going to post it, right? So what is Karma Yoga? We talked about. What is Gyan Yoga? What is Dhyan? We talked about. So we'll skip to shlok number 72. But 66, let's see, 66. 66 is a very popular shlok. And he says, Bhagwan, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tva Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami Ma Shucha. This is written in all the temples and everywhere. This shlok is printed, very famous. And Bhagwan is saying, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. He is saying that Arjun, now a lot of people have question about this shlok. People ask that Bhagwan has said that keep your Swadharma is the war is your Swadharma to do that. Now you are saying that Sarvadharman Parityajya, just give up everything and surrender to me. So people say give up. He's not saying give up. He's saying anything you're doing, surrender to Bhagwan. It's like that when we do puja, we offer to like tilak and at the end we offer dakshina also to Bhagwan. Dakshina, Bhagwan has given everything to you, you're offering to Bhagwan. We do that, right? And then, kela or whatever, dry fruit and mithai, we say, and there is a term we use, naivedyam nivedayami. So I'm offering, nivedan means request, offering. I'm offering naivedyam means mithai to Bhagwan, you. Bhagwan is not going to eat mithai, Bhagwan is. And then, but the purpose of that offering is that when it comes back, it becomes prasad. So when we offer, it is a wrong term. People say, I'm offering prasad. No, prasad we don't offer. We offer naivedya. Naivedya means something I prepared. And when it comes back from Bhagwan, it becomes prasad. So that's what Bhagwan is saying. Sarvadharman, whatever duties you have, just offer to me. Then when it comes back, it becomes prasad. And prasad means shanti. Prasad is a word. Prasad, physically we say that we are eating something. But the purpose of that shanti or anand is coming from Bhagwan to me of my puja. The result of my puja is shanti, anand coming. So that's what Bhagwan is saying. Just offer everything to me. And moksha ishami mashacha. I'll take care of your worries. Worries means your worries will go away. Anyway, if you offer something to Bhagwan, and it's like that, there is a bhajan also. Ab saunp diya is jeevan ka, sab bhar tumhare haathon mein. That's what the bhajan is saying. That once I surrender everything to you, Bhagwan, then I don't have to worry. And I very quickly, just example, I remember first time we went to Disney World. Gyan is here. Yeah, Gyan was here. So Disney World and Gyan was like 4 or 5 year old. And we were very excited. We are going to Disney World. Disney World. The moment we entered there, it was like 25th December. Heavy crowd. And he was like shocked to see that crowd because he was very excited, Disney World. And there were so many people. And I could see that he was like kind of scared that so many people. And I held his hand tight. And then the moment he has given his hand to me and I was holding it tight, I could see the confidence on his face. Oh, now I'm in with my dad. He's holding my hand. Ab saunp diya is jeevan ka. That's what Bhagwan is saying. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. Arjun, I'll take care of your. Shoch means grief or worries. Just But we don't do that, right? We do, and then we keep worrying. Bhagavan says, okay, then you keep worrying. So that's what the shlok. Anyway, we'll skip to, now go to shlok number 72, which is almost kind of the end of the Bhagavad Gita also. So 72nd shlok, where Bhagwan is finished the teaching, and now he's asking Arjun, the 70, Kaschit etat shrutam partha tvai ekagrena chetasa kaschit ajnana sammoha pranashtate dhananjaya. He's asking Arjun, you heard me very carefully. Ekagrena chetsa. Bhagwan could see that Arjun was focused on that, because he's asking now, his question about sannyas is a very high level question. So Bhagwan said, oh, you heard me very carefully. Ekagrena means very focused. But he's asking Kaschit Ajnana, the beginning, this delusion came because of ignorance. What delusion you have, the moh, it was because of the ignorance. Ignorance is you are thinking you are a body and you are a limited person. Oh, you are Purna. You are Satchidanand yourself too. Bhagavan says, Pranashtate, that is gone or not? Nasht ho gaya. Nasht means destroyed. So the Agyan which was born, the delusion, moh which was born because of the Agyan, ignorance of your nature, true nature, that Agyan is gone or not? So Bhagavan has asked the question. This was the last time Bhagavan spoke. So he's giving the last chance to Arjun, that he's asking, is it done or not? So we can go for the war now. Otherwise, we'll keep doing that. So now Arjun's answer, right? That is the last slok of, almost last slok of Arjun's thing, right? Arjun's words, right? Arjuna uvacha, Arjun said, Nashto moha smatir labdha tat prasadat maya achyut stitosmi gat sandeha karishye vachanam tava. And he is saying that Bhagwan Nashto moha, my moh is nasht, it is gone, destroyed. Nashtam is destroyed. Smatir labdha, I have regained my nature. But he says, upahat sabhava, I lost my nature. It's the reverse of that. Smatir labdha, I have regained the nature. I know now I am Arjun. I am the Gandhivdhari Arjun. I am that Kshatriya. I am the warrior. Now I regain that, right? But the moh was that, oh, this is my grandfather. This is my guru. That's a moh. Now you are swadharma. That's what we, in India, there is a word used for justice, nyay. There is a Sanskrit word, very powerful word. The nyay means there is no favor, there is no disfavor. That is nyay. So it doesn't matter who's the victim or who's the convicted. So no, so that's what I say. Tat smatir labdha, I regained that, right? Tat prasadat maya. But it is your kripa. Prasad, I said the word. He said it is coming from you, Bhagwan. It is not I have regained. I am saying, but it is prasad, your prasad, that I have regained, and my delusion is gone. I have regained my identity. That's the whole crisis. We all have the crisis. We are poor, but we struggle. We think, oh, I lack something. And then we search around the whole world that I'm lacking. And he says, no, you're not lacking something. You're complete. Our Shastra says, right? Tattvamasi. And then he says, Stitosmi gat sandeha. I am established doubtless. Sandeh is doubt. I am doubt free now. I have no doubts now. No doubt about who am I and what is my swadharma. That's the only thing in life, right? Anything. That's two things. Who am I and what is my duty? That's it. And he says, Karishye vachanam tava. Now I'll do what you say. Now, that is the Shishya says now. Okay, now I'll do what you say, my Acharya. And that's what Arjun's last. Arjun's it's a conviction now that I'm ready. I'll do what you say. And Bhagavan already said, you do perform your swadharma. So that is almost the end of Bhagavad Gita. And the Bhagavad Gita ends with Sanjay Uvach. It's so it is, she says Sanjay Uvach, it is Sanjay. I'm lucky to say that, right? So Sanjay says, like 76 shlok. Sanjay says, Rajan, he's staying to Dhatrashtra now. Rajan sanspratya samvadam, 76 shlok. Samvadam imam adbhutam Keshava Arjuno yo punyam Rishyami cha muhurmuhu. He's saying that I remember that again and again, the teaching, and my hairs are raising. I'm getting the romanch, the thrill. What I heard, I don't know, like that is the best so far I heard. Sanjay is saying, And then he says the last slok 78. Yatra yogeshwarah krishno yatra partho dhanurdharah tatra shri vijayo bhuteh dhruvani tirmatir mama. Sanjay is saying that whenever there is Yogeshwar Krishna, wherever there is Dhanurdhar Arjun, like a warrior like Arjun, a Shishya like Arjun, it's not warrior, the warrior, Shishya, warrior who is ready to learn, to surrender to the teaching, right? Tatra Shri Vijayo. There, Shri means, of course, prosperity, we say. Vijay means victory. Bhutir Dhruva. Bhuti means glory, Arjun. And that's why I always say that even today's world, in America, forget about Bharat, America, Australia, I know some people, they still name their children Arjun. That is Bhuti, right? That if Arjun would have run, didn't do that war, nobody would have named their children Arjun, right? People name their children in America Sanjay. Even now, I met one guy who said, Sanjay. He said, yeah, we named our son Sanjay because of this Bhagavad Gita, because of the teaching. So that's what, like, the Bhuti means glory will remain. And it is true, we know that glory has remained. That's why we are reading Bhagavad Gita now. Sanjay said that 5,000 years ago. And he says, Dhruva nitir matir mama. That is my conviction, Dhatarashtra. And he is telling Dhatarashtra before the war that you done. When there are these Yogeshwar Krishna, the Arjun, the Vijay is there because of the Sattvagun Krishna has brought into Arjun. So if it's Sattvagun, even if he is going to shoot the arrow, it is not going to be the violence. It is Swadharma. It is the Nyaya. So that's why the definition of Nyaya, Swadharma, they are powerful Sanskrit words. They're atomic words. I mean, each word carry a very profound meaning. So with that, Sanjay closes the Bhagavad Gita, and we'll just summarize quickly and do at the end 5-minute dhyan also. So in summary, what is Bhagavad Gita? So as I always say, there is a karma, there is a jnana, and karma and jnana are the teaching, 2nd and 3rd chapter. But Bhagavan is a good teacher. Bhagavan is a wonderful coach also. Bhagavan is not doing, and it's not just giving the prescription and just whether it is available in the market, medicine or not. No, he is going to give the prescription for the medicine which is available. But Bhagavan is taught technique also. So 6th chapter is dhyan. So karma, then jnana plus dhyan, because dhyan is required, and dhyan is not just ordinary meditation. We'll see what Bhagavan has taught to Arjun in last 5 minutes, right? I'll keep 5 minutes for that. It's wonderful. I do all the time. I do the same dhyan, what is taught to Arjun by Bhagavan. I don't do any other. I mean, all other practices are good, but why not what Bhagavan Krishna is saying directly? Why? All others are good too, but we'll see that. So that is dhyan, and then and that is supported by bhakti. Bhakti is not surrender. People sometimes say it is not a surrender, it is a love. Surrender may be a caution and compulsion, but love is not, don't have any compulsion. It's both way. It's both way. So that is bhakti. So jnana and karma are teaching, dhyan is sadhana, and they are all that encapsulated or icing is done by bhakti. And that is all Bhagavad Gita. That's it. There is nothing else in Bhagavad. Everything is around this. So that's 4th thing, Bhagavad Gita. Now, what are the characters, what Bhagavan needs out of us? Not out of us. If we are reading Bhagavad Gita, why we are doing this? It's like that Yoganand Paramhans has written that book. In book, he mentioned that autobiography of a yogi. Then his guru, he was going to Gurukul, wherever. His teacher asked, Guru's teacher, he was saying that, mentioned that. Guru's teacher is teaching something, some principle, and asked that, have you got it? And every student said, yeah, we got it. Like, for example, definition of truth. We got it. So what is that? This person says, I didn't get it. Then 3-4 times, and then Guru was little, what is that? I mean, so many times we have gone through this definition, but you said you didn't get it. He said, that's true. We have gone through this definition or this book 10 times, but this book has not gone through me even once. That's what I'm saying, I'm not getting it. So this Bhagavad Gita we can read many times, but I have gone through Bhagavad Gita. Has Bhagavad Gita gone through me or not? And that is what Bhagavan is, that is expected from all over satsang, whatever we do, right? Otherwise, what's the point doing satsang? So what Bhagavan expects from, or any Bhagavad Gita reader, that should be our goal. Goal in the sense, not material goal, adhyatmic goal. Material, there is no goal. Gita rejects material goal. That ma phaleshu kadachan, that's the final word. But adhyatmic, so Bhagavan has 4, that is my own study. 4 characters we should generate out of Bhagavad Gita within us. One is Sthit Pragya. This 55th shloka of 2nd chapter, Bhagavan has given the definition of Sthit Pragya. Prajahati yada kaman sarva. We can read later on, but it's a very powerful, and it will be, and all the other recording are there, which has detail like the same. I'll share the link. Yeah, Bhakti and Gyan are my kids, right? So that's that happens. Bhagwan की कृपा से उनका नाम आया था. हम लोगों ने सोचा नहीं था, but it happened, right? So maybe because of that. So Bhagwan's first character is Sthit Pragya, the one whose pragya, the one whose knowledge is always available when required. If I read Bhagavad Gita, I go through Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is simple, that I should not be sweating for the result all the time. Simple terms, right? That teaching should be available to me when time comes. I work in, I do a lot of social work, Mandir and many places, right? VHP of America. And I see like a lot of people, and it's not good to see those, but it's a learning. We are not analyzing people. But we see all the time, people just fight for small things. Oh, I have done this, I should get this. Karma phal. And that's what, so Sthit Pragya is, the teaching is available to me. If I get it, it's okay. If I didn't, so what? That is Sthit Pragya. So second, Bhagwan's character is, Bhagwan says, Gunatit. We are all driven by 3 guna. We talked about 14th chapter. You can read 14th chapter. Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamogun. Sattvagun, whenever I am in good mood, purity, when I am doing puja, Sattvagun. Rajogun means passion. I want this, all the time. Like workaholic, we call it, right? Today's word. That is Rajogun, right? I want more, this. And Tamogun means I don't want anything. I am depressed. Everything is bad. Always complaining, groaning, grumbling. That's Tamogun. So Bhagavan says, Gunatit Bhavarjo. Bhagavan need a person who's Gunatit, beyond these 3 guna, even beyond Sattvagun. And that is Bhakt. That is what Bhagavan's character. And the third Bhagavan is Lok Sangrahak. The 3rd chapter, the entire Karma Yoga, Bhagavan is not teaching Karma Yoga for Arjun to just enjoy. There is no Karma Yoga. It is Lok Sangraha. Whatever you are doing, that is Shreyas. Shreyas means the action which is done for all, entire universe. That's why our prayers are like Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina or Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Our rishis have done the prayer which are not for an individual, which is for the entire universe. And so that person is Lok Sangraha, that word called Lok Sangraha. In fact, Vivekanand, Bal Gangadhar Tilak and Mohandas Gandhi, 3 people use Bhagavad Gita for Lok Sangraha. They were in the midst of all those, but they used Bhagavad Gita teaching for Lok Sangraha, well-being of Lok Sangraha means well-being of all. So that is Bhagwan's 3rd character is Lok Sangrahak. And the 4th character Bhagwan likes is Samadarshi. Darshi means dekhna, Sam means equanimity. I see all with same vision, equality in all. That's Bhagavad Gita. There is a shlok in 5th chapter, 18th shlok, which says, Vidya Vinay Sampanna Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shuni Shopake cha Panditah Samdarshina. Means, in a Brahman means educated person, Gavi, cow, Hastini, elephant, Shuni, dog, Shopake means meat eater. The Sanskrit translation is meat eater. That's a translation of Shopake. The who eats something which is stale or which is not worth eating. That person means illiterate. Pandita Samdarshina. Pandits see them with equal eyes. Pandit, they are not different because the Atma is same in all of them. For reasons they are different, but they are all same. So we are different, but not separate. That is Samdarshi. My vision. I had no enemies. Hindu teaching, there is we say mitrasya chakshusha samikshamay. There is a shlok in Rig Veda. The entire creation is my mitra. That's the teaching. So that's a samadarshi, everyone. Because Bhagwan says, Sarv Ishvara Sarva Bhutana Vraddeshe Tishtati Arjun. That in everyone Ishwar is sitting. So when everyone Ishwar is sitting, even in little ant or elephant or cow or even the person who's bad, Ravan. Like there is a song in one of the movies, Swadesh, Man se Ravan jo nikale Ram uske. Ravan, there is a song, Hanumanji is telling Ravan that Ravan, you just touch this, all this negativity. मन से रावण जो निकाले राम उसके मन में है, राम तेरे मन में है, राम मेरे मन में है, राम ही जीवन में है, राम हर आंगन में है. There is a song, but everything is Ram. Tulsidas ji says, Siya Ram मैं सब जग जानी. Entire world is Ram, and that is Samdarshi. So 4 characters: Sthit Pragya, Gunatit, Lok Sangrahak, and Samdarshi. This is what Bhagwan was expecting out of Arjun, and so these are character. We'll just we'll do 5 minutes of dhyan, what is taught by Bhagwan. But just one quick story, and we'll do that, right? About whole thing that Gawal Gangadhar Tilak ji has written commentary on Bhagavad Gita. It is called Gita Rahasya, and in commentary he says that a very good example. He says in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita commentary, he says when Bhagwan Ramji, the Ramji Sena or Vanar Sena, they made a bridge from Rameshwaram to Sri Lanka. The bridge was made and they crossed the bridge. But the bridge was made with the krapa of Ramji, right? And everybody crossed and so they thought they were putting whatever stone and they have, there is a story. But they crossed the bridge. So he gives an analogy right there that they crossed the bridge on the stone, but they never knew the depth of the ocean because they never went inside the ocean. Bridge was made for them. They crossed it. So we should not take Shastra like that. Our Rishis have given the Shastra to us. But the purpose is not just to go through the Shastra. Go deeper into the Shastra. Then we'll find. Otherwise, they never knew the depth of the ocean because they just crossed the ocean. They say, oh, I have crossed the ocean. But did you go in deep into the ocean? No. The jewels are in the depth of the ocean. So it is not going through the Bhagavad Gita, going deeper into the Bhagavad Gita. And that's what, so we'll do 5 minutes of dhyan, which is taught in the 6th chapter. I have a document I can share later on sometime. And I had deciphered on the 6th chapter when Bhagwan is talking about Atma Sanyam, because Bhagwan is telling Arjun that, same thing, the teaching is available to you now, but are you retaining that or not? Like we eat, that's why we say the eating habits. Our Ayurveda is very clear that certain, and even medical science also, certain things to be eaten at certain times to get the most benefit. If your gut health is not good, doesn't matter whatever you eat, you're not going to digest, you're not going to get the benefit of whatever you eat, dry fruit or good fruit, because your gut is not healthy. So if gut is healthy, then you can digest, you can take the benefit of those food. So same thing here, right? Bhagwan told that if you don't have the dhyan means the focus. The other whatever teaching you have, the teaching is not going to benefit you because teaching is not available to you then, because it is all disturbed mind. So mind has to be peaceful, then teaching sprouts. And we all know that. I mean, we are all literate people, educated, so nothing new for that. So we'll do that. It is in the 6th chapter from shlok number 12 to 15, Bhagwan, and I had deciphered it. I mean, Bhagwan is not given that detail which I have, but because I like that, and that's my job also, being an auditor, to decipher things. So I can do that. But it is from Bhagavad Gita. So let's sit straight. And just ideally before preparing for dhyan, we don't do dhyan. That whole statement is wrong. We don't do dhyan. We prepare for dhyan. Dhyan happens. Dhyan is a resultant. Dhyan is not to be done. That whole statement is wrong. You just prepare for dhyan. Dhyan happens. So this is a preparation. So Bhagavan says to Arjun that sit straight. He says that Shiro Griva straight, because spine straight, and put your dhyan on the Nasika. So just say Om once. Ideally, we have to say 6 times. It helps, but let's say Om because of the time. Om. Now the journey is from typically we saw in the 13th chapter also. Kshetra Kshetragya. Kshetra is the body. Kshetragya is the consciousness. And beyond consciousness, we are that awareness, which is Sakshi Chaitanya, which is my real form, right? So, but we think I am this body. So this dhyan process Bhagavan taught to Arjuna is just shutting down this body and senses and then realize your nature, which is Sakshi Chaitanya or awareness, right? Which is basically, we people call it dhyan or samadhi. So keep the focus on the tip of the nostril. The slow and shallow breath, there is no pranayam. The breathing is very normal. Keep the focus on the tip of the nostril and bring image of Prithvi Tattva, because Prithvi is the first 5 panch. This is called Pancha Tattva Dhyan. 5 organs which are sense perception. We call it Jnanendriya. Each sense organ has one element of 5. 5 sense organs, 5 Panchabhut. So first element is Prithvi. Through nose, through nostril, we smell Prithvi. Prithvi is through smell we can feel. We can touch Prithvi, but through smell we can feel the Prithvi. So keep the focus on the tip of the nostril, bring image of Prithvi in mind. Prithvi means mountain or tree, plant, anything, or soil. In the 7th chapter, Bhagavan said, this is my nature. Prithvi is also Bhagavan's manifestation, but lower, the gross. Now shift focus to the tip of the tongue, and through tongue we feel the water or juice. So when you keep the focus on tongue, we can feel the juice there and bring image of water in the mind. Water means any river, fountain, anything. Just bring the image of water and keep the focus on the tip of the tongue. Now shift focus to the eyes. The next tattva is Agni, and eyes is the organ through which we Agni means the source of energy. So Surya Bhagwan, bring the image of Surya Bhagwan and keep the focus on eyes. And the next tattva is, or the element is Vayu. So Vayu we cannot see, we cannot touch, only Vayu we can feel. We can feel Vayu on the skin. Skin is the 4th sense organ, or Indriya, Jnanendriya. So keep the focus on the skin and we can feel the Vayu. Normally you won't feel, but when you do this, you can feel Vayu. And the next element is space. The space we cannot see, we cannot touch, we cannot perceive, we cannot even feel space. The only way we know space is sound travels in space. Now I am speaking, you're hearing. There is a distance between you and me, but the sound is traveling. That means there is a space around me, there is a space inside me. All these elements are inside me also and outside me. So keep the focus on ear and try to hear some distant sound. The purpose is not to hear the sound, but that tells there is a space around me and inside me. We are all in space. Now Bhagavan says after this in the Bhagavad Gita, after this, Bhagavan says, you brahmacharinevate, means that I am not these 5 senses, I am not the mind behind these senses. And by doing this practice, the senses shut down. When the senses are or quieten, when the senses are quiet, the mind automatically get quieted, because mind is not getting feed from senses, because the tendency of senses to go out, but we are shutting down that. When the mind is silent, the buddhi is also silent, because buddhi has nothing to do when mind is silent. And that time my body identification is also melted. It is gone down. This time Bhagavan says, Brahmacharya means do the Brahma Vichar. Brahma Vichar means Gayatri Mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, anything. And try to observe the mind also is this time. Mind is quiet, no thoughts. And in this state, Bhagavan says here, Yuktasita Matpara. Stay Mat param is I am the ultimate goal. And this state, Bhagwan and me are not separate. We are same. Tattvamasi. So in this state, just keep Bhagwan's any image or name or in mind. And Bhagwan says, as long as possible, you stay there. So there's a whole long process of this. But why Bhagwan told Arjun this? Dhyan. Because in Dhyan, you realize who you are. And it's a constant process. Like typically when we do, and I'm sure many of you are experienced, I'm not preaching the choir, but I'm sure already practicing. But it helps when we do Dhyan, the teaching sinks. And in this state, I realize, and there's a whole process, like the purification happens. Sattva increases. When Sattva increases, whenever I am here, the something which I used to hear, the bhajan, suppose bhajan, take the example. A bhajan which I used to enjoy, now I enjoy more, automatic. You'll feel that, oh, this same bhajan, and now I'm more focused, I'm more joy. That is what dhyan is required. And even if I'm doing a karma, Bhagavan told Arjuna, after dhyan, even you're doing a yuddha, you're not disturbed by that. Because you are just performing your swadharma. No regret, no guilt. It's just always in Anand. Even shooting the arrow with that Anand. It's a very statement, very dichotomic, but it is true. That's what Bhagavan is saying. Be in Anand, Arjun, then yuddha too. There is a shlok. He says, Mam anusmara yuddhascha. Keep me in mind and do the yuddha. Like that. So anyway, so we'll stop here. Just last thing. Bhagavan Shankaracharya. And why we are doing this dhyan and all Bhagavad Gita reading is satsang. So there is a shlok in Bhaj Govindam. Satsangatve nissangatvam, nissangatve niramohatvam, niramohatve nischalatatvam, nischalatatve jivana mukti. Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Murmana. Means in short is that Bhagavan says satsangatve, by doing satsang, what we are doing is satsang. Reading is satsang too. By doing satsang, you get nissangatva, the detachment comes automatic. It's automatic. I mean, you don't have to struggle for that. If you do that with focus, and then by getting detachment, the moha delusion is gone, is reduced. That's what happened to Arjun, right? When the delusion is gone, you see the clear reality, tattvam, sattva. You can feel the sattva or satya or tattvam, the essence. And when you see the reality, jivana mukti, that is moksha. This chapter is moksha sannyas yoga. So moksha sannyas. Sannyas means that karma phal, giving up. You, by giving the karma phal, performing the swadharma, you can enjoy the sannyas. And that is moksha, not going somewhere. And that's what Shankaracharya is saying, right? Jivan mukti. Jivan mukti is moksha. You are enjoying the life, right? Everything is doing, nothing has changed, all just because of satsang. So I'll stop here with, and then if we have still 5-6 minutes, if we have anybody has any question, but we'll just say like closing prayer first. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Holy Krishna Kariya Lal Ki Jai. And thank you very much for joining this. This is a wonderful opportunity, and I enjoyed. I'm sure we all enjoyed. I mean, that's the satsang, right? And the best part was that Gyan is, where is Gyan? Gyan was there in the Gyan is still there. Gyan, you're there?
संजय जी आप धन्यवाद बोल रहे हैं, धन्यवाद तो हम देंगे आपको.
नहीं
संजय जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच. आपका टाइम सो इम्पोर्टेंट.
नहीं वो तो मुझे तो मजा आता है देख के. मुझे तो इसमें मजा आता है.
व्हाट डू यू रिकमेंड हम जिन्होंने पहली बार ये ऐसे अभ्यास किया, व्हाट डू यू रिकमेंड फॉर पीपल लाइक अस टू डू नेक्स्ट? क्योंकि कुछ लोगों ने तो बहुत बारी पढ़ी होगी जो इस ग्रुप में.
What I say, Bhagavad Gita we should read every day.
Yeah.
We should, and then of course, I mean, there are selected shlok which I can share with you, but you can read entire. But there are, so Bhagavad Gita should be everyday reading. Absolutely, there's nothing, because you can read all other things, but it's like everything is written in a context. this is one which is coming from Bhagwan in entirety. So that's the reason we should read Bhagavad Gita. And I personally found I have read everything and I still read. There's nothing like Bhagavad Gita. I mean, I find so satisfying. Whenever I read, every answer is there. It's very satisfactory. It is very enlightening, uplifting. So yeah, Bhagavad Gita we should read. And my suggestion is that take the Gita Press Bhagavad Gita, Gita Press Gorakhpur. That is the best because everybody has, like, for example, Prabhupada's commentary. Prabhupada has in a very different, because his audience was that American of 1970s. And they were like, there was a hippie movement and very different audience. So his description is based on that, which is not a thing wrong. Chinmayananji's commentary was done for scholars, like he's very scholarly, very wonderful. Vivekananda has never actually written on Bhagavad Gita. So people, I don't know, people read his Karma Yoga. He's not talking just about Bhagavad Gita. But Gita Press Gorakhpur is very focused. They had exactly Hanuman Prasad Poddarji has, and in all languages it is there. So we should read, and then we can read other commentaries as we move forward. But yeah, read it every day. I think it is everyday reading.
आप everyday एक श्लोक समझाया करो. Only one श्लोक.
That's another thing. I still have a couple of years to retire. Once I retire, a lot of people told me I'll record, right? And then people can yeah. Vandana ji, you have your hand raised.
रिटायरमेंट होना जरूरी नहीं है.
किसी से बात कर रहे
हैं?
रिटायरमेंट होना जरूरी नहीं, आप तो वैसे भी कर सकते हैं.
नहीं, अभी बहुत सारे काम चल रहे हैं ना, इसलिए वो जरूरी है थोड़े से.
तो हाँ जी, तो आप जैसे बता रहे थे कि शायद रामचरितमानस इसके बाद में शुरू करने वाले हैं हम लोग.
हाँ, किसी ने पूछा था मुझे तो रामायण. Somebody asked, can we do Ramayana in, like, Ramayana is big, but in certain, like, 15 weeks or 12 weeks. So somebody asked, we'll think after January we can do, because a lot of messages in Valmiki Ramayana too, or even Tulsi Ramayana also. So reading everybody can do, like Sundarkand रोज लोग पढ़ते हैं, but there are messages in that. So I think January somebody said that, can we do that? So we can do that Ramayana. Yeah.
तो उसके लिए रामचरितमानस का, बिकॉज अभी बहुत सारे ऑनलाइन वर्जन्स हैं रामचरितमानस में. अगेन लाइक यू से, लाइक गीता प्रेस गोरखपुर का, राइट?
Yeah, Gita Press Gorakhpur is best. Yeah. Gita Press Gorakhpur, everything is Gita Press Gorakhpur. We should have. Then we can find other commentaries there. All are good. I mean, nothing wrong in that. But Gita Press, Hanuman Prasad Poddar, I don't know, have you people not, I mean, mere hisab se to he should get the Bharat Ratna.
Yes.
Hanuman Prasad Poddarji should get the Bharat Ratna.
Yes.
People not realizing it. What a wonderful thing. Every language, it is Tamil, Telugu, Bengali, everything is coming from Gita Press Gorakhpur. And some people don't know, but he has spent years when there was no light, there was no internet. And I'll just give an example. I mean, we have limited time. The picture we see, Hanumanji with Durga ji, this is all mind by the brainchild of Hanuman Prasad Poddarji. There was no Gita. Durga Saptati doesn't have a picture. It was all verbal. Our tradition was Shruti. Ved mein there is no picture. Hanuman Prasad Poddar imagined that Ram should be like this. He used to bring the artists from different places and say, draw like this. And there should be Ram with Dhanush. So all what we see is Hanuman Prasad Poddarji's brainchild.
Yeah.
It was never in Valmiki Ramayana. Has no picture. He just described, there is a young man like this, but this is all done by Hanuman Prasad Poddarji. So anyway, so that's what in Gita Press Gorakhpur, I'm a big fan of him. And he has done a wonderful job.
The price is so reasonable.
Oh, yeah, right.
Never increase the price. Same thing.
So there is a question in the chat box
Oh, yeah.
from Ruchi Shah. How does teaching of Bhagavad Gita help us to forgive and forget?
No, so you forgive and forget. You just forget this statement. Number one. Okay, don't work on this statement. Work on what Bhagwan is saying. Okay, this is the result. All these things, seva and all these are outcome of the charitra. So Gita is focusing, Bhagwan is focusing on bringing a charitra out of Arjuna. Like I showed, right? Sthit pragya, gunatit. All these are value system. They are byproduct of So read Bhagavad Gita, try to understand, do dhyan, bring the sattva guna up, automatically you're going to forget things. Automatic. We don't have to forget and forgive is an action. Gita doesn't believe in that, right? Gita believes in purifying. There is a shlok in Bhagavad Gita, right? Yogastha kuru karmani sangam chaktva atma shuddhaye. Bhagavan is saying to Arjun, yogi people do the karma for atma shuddhi. Atma shuddhi means purification of mind. So he's saying yogi's karma is for the purification of mind. Rest everything is resultant. So yeah, so let's not worry about forgive and forget. Let's do what Bhagavan is saying. That will happen. That's a very easy thing. Yeah.
Thank
Sanjay bhai,
you.
Yeah.
this Gita was told by Bhagwan Krishna on the battlefield, right?
Yeah.
So how was it? How did it become public in the sense that who wrote it
Sanjay.
down, or was it just a?
Vyasji, Ved Vyas. He wrote he wrote entire Mahabharata, and it's the same thing. Valmiki was writing when things are happening, because they were contemporary. Valmiki ji and Bhagwan Ram was the same way. Valmiki, Ved Vyas and Bhagwan Krishna Arjun were contemporary. So earlier time, I don't know what power they used to have, but they used to write when things are happening. So so Vyasji compiled this. Yeah.
Hmm.
And actually, Vyasji gave Sanjay this vision. He said, like, how I'm going to tell Dhatrash what is happening. So Vyasji said, okay, I'll give you the power. What you can listen what Bhagwan Krishna. In fact, there is a prasang in Mahabharata that when Arjun was, as Duryodhan became impatient, and he is telling Bhishma, then why don't we start the war? I don't know what they're talking about. Just start the war. And then Bhishma yelled at Arjun. He said, Duryodhan, shut up. First time in my life, I am feeling why I am not Kunti Putra Arjun, why I am Ganga Putra Bhishma. If I was Kunti, I could have heard what he is saying. You don't know what he is talking about. Krishna is talking to Arjun. Just hold on, like that they are talking. So even Bhishma could not hear. So Sanjay was given that, and then later on Vyasji was compiled. So we are lucky, like, to have the compilation. Yeah,
Who was Sanjay?
Huh?
Who was Sanjay? He says Sanjay Uwach, वो बीच में आता है वो
Yeah,
कहाँ
Sanjay
से?
was Dhatrash's assist secretary, basically.
अच्छा वही मैं वो बीच में आता है संजय उवाच
Sanjay was Dhatrash secretary. Dhatrash was blind. So
Yeah.
that's why he couldn't see. Sanjay said, okay, I'll tell you what is happening. So he says, Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Yudhit Seva. So Pandav and my son and Pandav's son, what they're doing, tell me. And then he describes. So during the description of war, the Bhagavad Gita also happens.
So Sanjay ji, एक question है. I know it's like Bhagavad Gita is a part of the Mahabharata, and then it was Adi Shankaracharya who put it into the Karam Yog Dhyan Yog, correct? Or who was the person? I think it is
So there is no written record for that, but yes, Adi Guru Shankaracharya has done, but after that, most probably is Madhusudan Saraswati ji who brought this into chapters. Because
Okay.
Bhagwan was not telling that this is a chapter. Bhagwan has not used
correct,
the word.
correct.
Bhagwan has not used the word Karma Yoga in the entire. Bhagwan has
Right,
not used the word
right.
Gyan Yoga.
Right.
He has used the word Karma and Gyan. Later
Correct.
on, our acharyas made them
They
like,
put it like, yes.
for us, like otherwise we would be just one straight, right? So they
Correct.
broke down into, and Bhagwan and Arjun is a question answer. And that's why it's a random. It's not a linear teaching. It's not a
Mhm.
subject by subject. It's a random teaching because Arjun is asking and Bhagwan is answering. It's like that.
Mhm.
So first two chapter, that is Bhagwan's own choice. He didn't give Arjun much thing. But after that, it was Arjun's question and Bhagwan's answers, like that.
Correct.
So yeah, it's not a linear teaching. So but that's what, if you read 15 chapter, you won't get anything out of that unless you go to second and third chapter. Any chapter, any other chapter. If you don't understand second and third, we cannot understand the rest of the chapter because the context is coming from second and third chapter. Gyan and Karma. So Gyan and Karma is the foundation stone. In fact, that's look at the Karma word. Everybody is using Karma word. The entire world is using. Even Muslims, they use Karma word. I see some Pakistani drama. They also use the Karma, right? So Hindu rishis have, I mean, I'm telling you, as the world will move forward, they'll come back to Bharat and say that this country can provide the way of how to live. And Bhagavad Gita will play a big role in that. I'm very confident. I'll not be there, but I enjoy that, even imagining that this is going to provide peace to the world. Yeah, so we are lucky to be part of it, right? This movement.
Thank you so much.
So we
Yeah,
are
thank-
lucky also that हमको संजय भाई ने संजय watch.
Yeah, well,
They
yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
And one thing which I like is Gyan is there. Gyan sat through the entire 10 sessions, and he registered, and he's there. And it's a challenge for a father to say something when you're young, like not young. He's a man now, right? He's not a boy, but, and sitting in front of you, because he exactly knows if I'm saying something which is not true. He knows. So it is a big challenge, and it's a good feeling for me too, right? That if it makes sense to him, it makes more sense to me, because he exactly knows. I can make, I do a lot of speeches and all that, but if he's listening and bhakti is there too, if they say that it makes sense, then it is more. So thanks to Gyan too.
It's true. Very nice.
Yeah, it makes sense. So yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah, it is nice. I mean, I enjoyed that. So we'll see in future if maybe the Ramayana thing come, I'll communicate with everybody's it is. But thanks. And if you have any questions, you can just email me. And
Sure.
there are a lot of resources. But just enjoy reading Bhagavad Gita every day. Do
Okay.
dhyan. That is very important. And don't worry about what will happen. Ruchi, it'll flow. It will flow, right? That's what Bhagavan told. Karishye vachanam tava. Bhagavan jo bola, that will happen, right? Yeah.
That is absolutely true. And yes, I think it will take a lot of learning to reach at that level. But as a parent, as a mom, it is always, you wonder that are you doing enough for your kids, or are you doing the best you can for your kids or family, Yes, we are,
Just keep
भगवान
doing
है,
it.
भगवान करा ही लेंगे सब
Yeah,
कुछ, but
just,
फिर भी
just keep doing. We should not. That's what Bhagavan is saying. Sarvdharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Aham tva saro pape moksha ma shucha. Shoch means the grief or worry. He said, just let's surrender. So it will happen, right?
उनके साथ होगा.
Okay.
Great.
Good night, everyone. Jai Shri Krishna.
Yeah, Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Namaste.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Yeah,
Jai Shri
Jai Shri-
Krishna.
Dhanyavad.
Okay.
Thank you, Sanjay Mama, so much. And I
Okay,
apologize
sure,
for
yeah,
missing
I'm
a
sure
few
you
of the
enjoy.
classes
Keep reading.
with the kids, and I apologize.
I
It's
know,
my fault.
it is tougher,
It's-
but you made it, right? Yeah.
Yes, I try to make majority of it, but I missed about 3-4 classes.
Yeah,
And
but
then,
I'll put the recording anytime.
yes. It was fantastic. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
you're very welcome.
The finale was great.
Okay, good.
All right. Jai Shri Krishna.
Okay.